That's what I said. One thing that they had on this when I looked at it earlier was, is that new charting?
I don't remember that either.
Is that's like brand new?
Jess's clock is different than that, so I always have to wait
Gotcha.
for Jess or.
Oh, yeah.
Steven
I
to
never
tell me when
noticed
it
that.
really is 6.
Okay,
That one's a little.
that was the only thing I was like, huh, all right, well. Yeah,
Okay.
full day rentals or whatever. I just wonder how they.
It is 6 o'clock on Tuesday, February 10th. I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
Smith.
Here.
Ferguson. Here. Anderson, no, sorry, I don't know that. Wolfville. Persano,
Here.
Green,
Here.
Burbank,
Here.
Bender,
I'll accept motions for excusing council members not present.
Motion to approve the 2 council members not present.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Did I have a second? I'm sorry.
second, no,
I'll
second.
second it.
Councilmember Green. Thank you. Okay, agenda modifications. Does council have any additions, deletions, corrections on the agenda as presented? Nope, none? I'll accept a motion.
Move to approve the
accept
agenda.
The agenda is presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Announcement, appointments and presentations. At this point, I have reappointment of planning commission members. You see, one is here with us this evening, Mr. Garland. I am going to recommend reappointing Mel Garland, Mark McPhail, and David Griffin to the planning commission for new 4-year terms that will end on February 10th, 2030. I'll need a motion and a second.
Motion to approve Mel Garland, Mark McPhail, Dave Griffin for planning commission members.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any discussion on the reappointments? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion carries.
Thank you. At this point in the agenda, we have public comment. It is limited to 3 minutes for you to speak. Council will not be engaging with you. They will be listening to what you have to say. Please, when you come to the podium, state your name and where you reside. City of Buckley, outside City of Buckley. You don't have to give us your street address. So when Jess brings me the list. Okay. Let's start with Luann Hedges. Oh, do you need?
I don't know, I'm just short.
There we go. All right, good job.
Okay, Mayor Harding and the Buckley Council. My name is Luann Hedges. I don't live in the city of Buckley, but I do have a Buckley address on the way to Bonnie Lake. I am the secretary of the Ida Marge Guild of Buckley. These are our ladies all sitting here. There are 24 guilds in the Southwest Washington, which form the Mary Bridge Brigade. I have left each of you with just a little handout showing you what the brigade is, picture the new hospital. It gives a little info. Mary Bridge Brigade is an organization of volunteers whose sole purpose is to further the interest of and aid in the support of Mary Bridge Children's Hospital. I have been a member of the Ida Marge Guild for 45 years. And as a little side note, I used to attend all these city council meetings 45 years ago when, let me see, Earl Hill was the mayor. Gene Robertson was the mayor. And Sam York was the mayor. It was fun. Mary Bridge Brigade was formerly known as the Tacoma Orthopedic Association. It was organized in 1921, primarily to benefit children with orthopedic needs because of polio. Recent examples of Mary Bridge donations to the hospital include $55,240 for 654 pairs of shoes for children with orthopedic needs, and they do this every year. And another $448,000 for a cranial scanner and repair of a therapy pool at the Children's Therapy Unit at the Good Sam location in Puyallup. So Mary Bridge, we're all over Southwestern Washington. Our Buckley Guild was chartered in 1956. This year, we are celebrating our guild's 70th anniversary in Buckley. Our members fundraise primarily by holding 2 events each year. First is our May Country Store, and then in November is our Holiday Bazaar. Both are one-day bazaars with setup the day before. 4 years ago, the Mary Bridge Brigade pledged $10 million towards the building of a new Mary Bridge Children's Hospital. The newly built hospital will open this year on May 16th. And there again, you will see a picture. Right now, we have a lot of patients that reside in the Tacoma General Hospital on 2 or 3 of their floors. They will all be moved to the new building in May. In 2025, our guild right here in Buckley donated a total of $17,452.33 to Mary Bridge Children's Hospital. We were the 5th highest fundraisers out of 24 guilds. Buckley's been good to us. We are now preparing for our Country Store Bazaar in May, which we would like to have on a Saturday rather than a Friday. The rates will increase to $600 for Saturday and $150 for 3 hours of setup the day before. Since Mary Bridge Brigade does cover us with insurance for property damage, we no longer have to pay the extra $350 property damage. Our total rental cost for the hall will be $750. Hold on. Something I want to get in here. I guess that's it. 4 years ago, Mary Bridge Brigade pledged $10 million towards the building. Oh, I think I just did that one. Sorry. When the city revised its Buckley Hall rental rates 2 years ago, the rental fee for our guild increased from $75 to $500 for a Friday rental. We also paid a refundable damage fee of $350, which we now know we didn't have to pay. Our members approached this guild, some of you will remember that, for reconsideration, but we were advised that the rates could not be reduced just for one group, which was understandable. We were very thankful when a council person and 2 citizens in the audience donated enough money to get us through the next 2 years. We are now preparing for our Country Store, and if the council has any ideas or considerations that could help us in these costs, we feel there's no better place than the Buckley Hall to hold our fundraising events. So within your little packets, there's cash donation forms and just some information for you to keep and think about. Thank you.
Thank you, Luann. Also, I have Nancy Loomis.
Mayor Harding and City Council. I'm Nancy Loomis, Vice President of Item Guild. When I retired in 2005, I knew I would be volunteering for the Donald Loomis Memorial Clothing Bank because my niece Sheila Smith runs it, 30 years now. One of the ladies that volunteered there also, Donna Lukes, kept after me to join the Item Orange Guild. I lost my place. Oh, here we go. This went on for 2 years. Finally, I said, okay, I will go to a meeting. Made up my mind and joined right away. I thought as time went on, I'm passionate about making a difference. I felt a sense of belonging and self-worth. Being a part of this guild, we give our time and effort to an important cause, Mary Bridge Children's Hospital, stressing support, teamwork, problem solving, and leadership from the Item Orange Guild officers. We all, with members, bring everything together. We have amazing members for our holiday bazaar in November and our country store bazaar in May. Our guild, formed in 1956, is celebrating our 70th anniversary, which you just heard. We work hard to make each bazaar a big success and to make as much money as possible. Our rent for the Buckley Hall went from $75 to $500. We are asking you for your help. If you or you know someone who might want to help us out with a money donation towards the rent of the Buckley Hall, we would be so grateful. That would mean we could send more money to the kids, and that's what we strive for. That is our mission. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your time. Mine was short compared to the other.
Good job, Nancy. Thank you. Okay, I think that's all I have on the list. There is another opportunity at the end, should someone decide that they want to come up and testify. You don't have, just because you didn't sign in doesn't mean you can't come in and speak. So moving on for right now, let's go to committee's reports. For the mayor's report, City Administrator Banks and I met today with the IAFF leadership to talk about kind of a meet and greet, and then discuss some of the conversations were focused on hiring of the 4th firefighter and the status of that, updating on the status of the proposed ad hoc committee and where we are with that. And then they had requested scheduling labor management meetings, which we certainly aren't opposed to, and we'll get those on the books as well. So that was a good meeting. And that's all I have. Councilmember Smith, you have admin, finance, public safety.
Yes, we met. My date is wrong. Should be February 3rd. A week ago today. Everybody has a copy of the minutes that I prepared. There's a rundown of the special event applications. But yeah, when I'm done, if you have questions on any of that, I can chime in. IT is busy. Going to be updating the police department's what is called MDTs. I remember when I first came on the police department, we first got those MDTs. Before, you had to write your call down on a piece of paper and whatnot. Mobile data terminals are being updated in all the police department vehicles, so that's a good thing, especially in light of the body cams and all of the things that integrate together. That's being done by IT. Buckley Municipal Court, Mrs. Cash, Jessica Cash, noted that she's attained a national certification as a court manager, so a national certification, not just a local certification. So that's pretty big thing. The court is transitioning from Judge Barry, who we've had a lot of times the pleasure to hear from at council meetings and whatnot. She's moving on, and we're transitioning to Judge Johnson. And then a data point that Mrs. Cash noted that there were 1,202 cases filed in, again, another typo, Buckley Municipal Court in 2025. So 1,202 different types of cases. That could be a misdemeanor, crime filings, infractions, other items. Police Department Chief Alfano advised that there's 2 entry-level candidates for police officer and background process. And that came off the civil service list, and that civil service list is closed out. So those 2 officers, we'll see where they how they progress through that backgrounding process and the next steps. And he advised that there's interviews scheduled for exceptional laterals. These are police officers that have been certified, sworn officers that have been certified through the state, went to work for another department, but have not completed 2 years on whatever reason. Different police departments have different stringent standards in their field training program. And people are people, and some people get hired by one agency, and maybe that type of police work is not for them, but another type of police work could be for them. So these are people that have done the job, but they don't have their 2 years on, so they're not considered a full lateral. They're an exceptional lateral, so they're interviewing for those. And the chief also advised that the 2026 Citizens Academy has been canceled due to lack of enrollment. Fire department, what was presented at the study session was what was presented at the admin finance committee meeting was what was presented last Tuesday at the study session. In finance, Director Hines discussed the city's obligation to track information relating to tax reporting on overtime due to what we've heard about in the media last year, what was referred to as the one big beautiful bill, where there's no tax on overtime, but that has all kinds of restrictions to it. And so she discussed how they have to track and how there is no penalty to municipalities for not reporting properly because it's so new. Everybody has this here. Any questions? Thank you.
One note that you'll find interesting, Councilmember Smith, at our staff meeting, we learned from Chief Alfano that those terminals that were in the police cars are not going to waste. They are going to the fire department. So we save money every way we can. And if you want to read the agenda title, please.
Resolution number 2601, amending the city taxes, rates, and fees schedule.
Need a motion.
Move to approve resolution number 26-01, amending the city's 2026 comprehensive taxes, rates, and fees schedule.
Second.
City Administrator Banks is available to answer any questions. Councilmember Burgesson.
So I was just noticing on some of our permit fees that some of them have gone up a lot. So I just wanted to get clarification on that and have that talked about publicly. So some of them went from $110 all the way up to $200, which is like an 81% increase. And then many of them only went up 5%. So just kind of wanted to get some clarification on how those were figured.
Sure. The majority of them went up 5%, as you stated. The ones that went up by a considerable margin is the city uses an outside consultant in sound inspections to do a lot of permit review, some permit, not issuance, but they review those permits that are being issued. And their hourly rate, the city has to at least recoup that money that we're paying this person to perform that task.
Okay.
And it was just found partway through last year that we're not charging enough to at least cover that person's expenses.
Okay.
Oh.
And then I had one more question and it was about tree removal so that it can be clarified for the citizens. Let me find the page that it's on. It showed as a no fee, but then there was a little asterisk next to it that says land disturbing permit required and subject to arborist report. So just a little clarification for everybody on that. So that, because on page 20, it shows the land disturbing permit. There's a fee of 250 and or up, maybe.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
So tree removal can happen for many different reasons. Sometimes trees are obviously dead, they need to be removed. The LDA permit is a mechanism in which we use to take trees like that down. Sometimes people want to take trees down that they consider dangerous, or I'll call it a nuisance, but it's not really a nuisance, where we require an arborist report to kind of back up that information as to why a citizen wants to take those down, or if they're in city right of way. So there's review cost in that. So that's the reason for the increase in that. And,
Okay.
and I'll tell you, a lot of times we waive the permit fee for taking down trees for various reasons.
Okay, so it's more of a case by case.
Yep,
basis
yep,
too.
yep. And then if you're wanting to remove the stump, all of a sudden you're disturbing the land and it just gets more involved.
Okay, okay. Thank
So
you.
50, I think the old rate was $52. I think I can look.
For tree removal?
Yeah, or free, well,
Yeah,
free.
it didn't show anything.
Yeah, there's a major and a minor, but it just is not enough to cover the review
Okay.
cost.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Would the fee be waived, like when we've taken down trees like in Copperwent, like?
Sure, like
with
if you
the
have a street
side
tree, if
planting,
you,
the trees that are parked.
yeah, a lot of the HOAs want to take a street tree down that's covering a stop sign. Well, that's a safety hazard. We need to process a permit, but we'll waive the fee.
Okay.
Any other questions, Councilman?
On page 7, Director Banks, talking about fire department's fees for like first aid, CPR, all that. It adds a sales tax plus sales tax. Is that because the state of Washington is in their great, always, tradition?
Yep,
Tax this.
yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I will note that across the utilities, you will see that, like you've seen most often in the past, the utility rates have increased by 5%, and that's driven by our water, sewer, and storm comp plans as a recommendation of those comp plans. The city's in the process of updating those comp plans, so you might see, I guess, larger increases. You may not in the future. And then another thing to note is our GFCs, the general facility charges for the utilities, are driven by basically a CPI of construction cost, and they actually went down 3.08% this year. So we've decreased those general facility charges.
Councilmember Green.
Yeah, on the last page, page 30, a lot of changes here. Part-time firefighters crossed out. Was the part-time fighter, was that like a role that was envisioned there that we don't need, or what's?
Chief, you are here. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really even pay attention to that.
Chief, can you come to the podium so it can be on the record? Thank you.
I don't see Director Hines here tonight, but that was conversation that we had with council a few months ago. The part-time wildland firefighter, which was designed for mobilizations and deployments across the state, was the only thing that was ever approved by council in the taxes, rates, and fees. So part-time firefighter never was there, but the rate was used when we were hiring volunteers back to backfill.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. PG.
Anything else? Okay. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay.
Resolution number 2602, declaring emergency and waiving competitive bidding requirements for public works project.
Move to approve resolution 2602, declaring an emergency and waiving the competitive bidding requirements for a public works project. The water transmission main emergency repair.
Second.
City Administrator Banks is available to answer any questions. Is there any discussion?
I spoke to this at the last council study session. I think most of the council members present today understand what this is. It just basically allows the city to act on the repair more quickly by waiving the public works bidding requirements. That doesn't necessarily mean that we have to act that quick, but it gives the city some flexibility on acting quicker than going through the full processes.
And as I understand it, it also allows us to be eligible potentially for emergency management dollars in
Sure.
the state.
We've declared this as an emergency
Right.
and we're going through those processes. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ahead of myself, but part of my update is I was down in the canyon today with the city engineer and a couple geotechs discussing repairs and the river, the creek and all the above. So we're moving, we're developing a project, we're getting things designed and we'll move as quickly as we possibly can.
So number seven.
I'll just say that we all saw the photographs. We had this flooding that happened in, I don't even know, was it December or January? And every body of water downstream from the hills was flowing, and that structure that's holding up the transmission line on one side is washed away, and it has to be fixed, because if that thing drops, then we're gonna have a problem with water delivery.
Yep. We're on it.
Anyone else have any questions or comments? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, we're on, moving on to staff reports, city administrator update.
I just gave you one update. I'll give you one more. I met with Diane Wink, one of the owners of the Fright Factory. They didn't have the best year, but she came in to my office yesterday and wanted to pay their lease for 2026, but they also wanted to donate $15,000, splitting that donation 50% to the youth center, 50% to the senior center, even though they didn't have the most profitable year. So that's a very nice gesture by them. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Very generous.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Her reasonings for having such a terrible year, can you share?
Some of it was due to the bridge. She
Oh,
thought
yeah.
that some of it was due to the weather, so a combination of things. But they're hopeful that next year will be a lot more profitable.
Anything else?
Touched on the water transmission main. I think I'm good.
Okay, so I'm gonna circle back one more time to public comments. If anyone else would like to come to the podium and speak for 3 minutes, you're more than welcome to. Come on up, Megan Rhodes.
Evening. This is very timely. I did not know that the wonderful volunteers from Ida Marge were going to be here tonight, but I just wanted to invite you all to the community soup supper, which is Friday. And Ida Marge will be our host and bringing all of the soups, desserts and rolls and everything else. It's 5 o'clock on Friday night. Bring your own bowl, your own spoon and a big smile. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Council member comments, good of the order.
Sorry, one more.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Natasha,
I'm
I'm
hidden
sorry.
back here.
I can't see you.
I know, I was like, I can't see her. I'll have to pick a different spot next time. Hi, I'm Natasha Hackett, here with the Buckley Downtown Association. We wanted to invite all of you. We're gonna start doing a monthly What's Up Buckley meeting, 9 a.m. every first Wednesday of every month over at Main Street Bistro. We'll provide coffee, but we're trying to figure out a way to bring different community organizations, just members of the community together to talk about upcoming events, different issues that we're all running into, and just kind of connect and collaborate. And then also I wanted to, so I'm on the Citizen Advisory Commission, and we had a meeting and agenda set up, and I got an email saying that our meeting was canceled. Our agenda has been cleared. And a couple of the items that were on there, one was wayfinding, which I know is super important to a lot of the business owners in town. And so on behalf of the Downtown Association, I would love to talk about ways that we can look for grants on our own and work with how to go about that process, working with the city and business owners to help keep wayfinding on like top of mind at the radar. With it being canceled off a Citizen Advisory Commission, I just wanted to be sure that I was keeping it out there and that I was connecting and trying to figure out the answers and solutions for that, since I know it's a big financial burden. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, with that, I'll entertain council comments and concerns. Good of the order. Councilmember Smith.
For the city administrator, the status of 760 Park Street with their signage on the fence.
It's moving slowly, but we're working on it.
Secondly, 720 Park Street.
Same
with
thing.
The parking, their parking seems to be for their business on Norma. And you got 2, 3, 4 customers at a time and people coming around the corner. I don't know what their permit says.
So I'll have senior planner, Mr. Farnsworth, and I'm not trying to put him on the spot, but he will reach out. They have to do some improvements through there, and they need to do them sooner than later. Things that they know about that they haven't really came through and did. So we will follow up on that and get that handled.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No? With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Steve asked.
You know.